What is up, game changers and soul warriors? Hopefully you can hear me okay. I was messing with my microphone. I'm coming on today because I have a lot of new people joining my page, and I really want to introduce myself officially to you all and say, welcome, welcome. You are here for a reason. I can guarantee you that. I guarantee you it was divinely guided. Certain nudges, definitely listening to that flow. There's a reason for that. So I'm going to introduce myself. Like I said, my name, I don't know if I said my name. My name, or at least what Spirit calls me, is Juniper Bloom Mystique. I am an ascension master and a master healer and a divine guide. That's what Spirit calls me, at least in the simplest form. I provide an epic light healing journey of epic proportions, they say. How do I explain this? So there's a difference between an ascension master and a master healer. You would think they're one and the same, right? For everybody else, they usually are. It usually means they can help people ascend through healing them. I do that, but that's part of my master healer title. The ascension master part is because I brought about the ascension. How do you bring about the ascension? Well, it turns out the ascension is very real. It associates with Judgment Day, and I can tell you all about that. Okay, I'm going to give you guys proof of where to find all of these pieces of information to prove to you who I am. Because over the years, it's all been witnessed and recorded through workshops and happening to and through me in real time, and also on my YouTube channel. Some of them happened live on my YouTube channel as well, like the return of Christ. Okay, that did happen to me and through me. It started in 2019. I had a massive Kundalini awakening through not intentionally. I went on my own healing journey through trauma, and I went inward because as a therapist, I tried therapy and it just didn't work. And so I went inward and ended up causing my own Kundalini awakening, which caused major things to happen. So my Kundalini awakening was also very massive. It was so powerful. I couldn't understand what was going on to me, with me, or to me. Nobody really could explain it. Then all of a sudden I started doing these weird things. Started with healings, healing people in weird ways. I could astral travel in real time. It's like remote viewing times 10, where I would go outside of myself and I would do all these things and I could see what they were wearing and I would validate that for them. And I would do these healings on them. The healings that I do as a master healer for individuals are not limited. I do everything. I can do everything that you can think of. That's why they call me a master healer. It's not limited. So meaning I do medical healings, I do physical healings, all of that kind of stuff. I'm not a doctor. I'm a master healer. And I've had many, many, many patients over the last 3 years, not patients, but individuals come to get healings through me. And it's been so many different things, from healing hearts that were going into heart attack status, to one patient was terminal in her 70s, to driving again and walking up her stairs and acting like she was 20. So I know the healings that I do are very real. I know what causes diseases. I've done healings to heal cancers. I heal animals. It's not limited. Okay. That wasn't weird enough. I started doing, Spirit would tell me what to do. Okay. So I taught myself everything through Spirit. Nobody really taught me much of anything that was accurate for me. I tried to go through an alchemy academy that I had found, and it only really helped me kind of gather myself and learn that I was different. And that was pretty much it. And then there was like a lot of painful occurrences that happened. So I broke free from that. And Spirit led me into how to really do things correctly, what things really were for me. And then all of a sudden I started doing things to the planet while I was meditating. I would have gods and angels show up with me. Hermes, Prometheus, Zeus. I opened a god portal, but it started with 11/11 of 2020. One of the main things I did, don't get me wrong, there was many. I was doing stuff almost all the time. I all of a sudden had this feeling like there was something I had to do. Like there was just always something that I had to do, and I couldn't let anybody stop me, even though I didn't know what I was doing. It was just this uncanny feeling that I couldn't stop and I couldn't let anybody stop me. It was intense. Okay. Then on 11/11 of 2020, I had done some other things. I started going to the earth in different places. I rose Atlantis, not on video. There was a witness to that. But I sat on Saturn, the rings, in my meditation. It was very real. And we lassoed the Hermes, the god, and I lassoed Atlantis after I healed my contract there. So I had died there. So I had to process my death. I eliminated a contract that said it would never rise again because I was angry. Then we rose Atlantis out of the water. Then on 11/11/2020, I rose, and I didn't rise anything. I cleared Mt Shasta. Okay. I'm going to show you some of these things. I'm going to screen share with you as I'm talking to you because it's all proven. And I want to show you guys where to get it. So I'm going to do that. Here is my Ascension playlist on one of my 3 channels. This is my main channel. I will show you what it looks like from my perspective anyways. This is my channel, Master Juniper Bloom Mystique. Okay. This channel literally started when Spirit told me to do a channel. I think I stole my kid's original channel that I created that was never used. And I'm like, why do you want me to post videos? Everybody does that. And Spirit's like, it's going to be different. I promise you. So I started posting videos. Okay. And then eventually I uploaded everything I did. So it's pretty much almost everything is on here for you guys to witness. And some of it you can heal with. But like I said, it started out with clearing Mt Shasta. That's this video right here. The one that says make no judgments on the front. That just was a clip that, YouTube chooses. It was clearing Mt Shasta, where in that I cleared out some major darkness. And then all these souls just started flooding out of it. Lots of souls started flooding out of it. And I even had a painting that I talk about, you guys, that depicts the work that I did. I'll show you because some of you don't know. Somebody else did this painting for me during a reading that I had while I was in that academy. You see the mountain here with all these souls coming out of it. Triangle with a third eye was one of the things I saw. You see Saturn over here and there's a god underneath it. We didn't know what all this meant until I did it. Okay. So this was ahead of time. This painting was done in 20 by somebody who was in the academy, not by myself. Okay. And we were like, what is that? And I love that painting because it is quite evidential based. So then 11/11 of 2020, I cleared Mt Shasta. Then from there, it went into activating pyramids. I activated pyramids all over the planet. Okay. That's why tomorrow I have a really big workshop that I'm doing around the equator. Then I did things to the sun and the moon. I undid the false concept of time. That's right here. Prometheus, the god of humankind, came through and did something to the planet, which is relevant for what I'm doing tomorrow, starting tomorrow. This is a month-long excursion that we're doing now. Here's more work, pyramids. The first one that I activated, the first pyramid was in Fiji. That also became the portal of gods. The one in Fiji is underwater. There's also 333 islands there. Did you know that? And now that is the Earth's root chakra. I don't care what anybody says. People are a little off on the Earth chakra systems. It was Mt Shasta because it was commandeered to be so. It was never supposed to be. The fallen angels are the reason Atlantis flooded. Okay, not God. Did stuff to the sun. This is a really God Hermes again and more. Warning, not normal. This one was very powerful. All of them really were. Then I eliminated the false light, negative pull, and dark energy from the moon. There was a couple of these. That was the eclipse elimination phase. Then I eliminated the false concept of time. That was a really cool one to watch. Definitely check that one out. Then I started removing the matrix and creating a second Earth is what they called it. I did all these. These are not me talking about them. These are workshops. Okay. Some videos I talk about stuff. Sometimes I channel messages from Spirit to say what's coming. Sometimes I do Hertz music and guided meditations. It's all on this channel, including missing persons. And this is why I kind of broke off into 3 channels. One of my channels is just Hertz music. The other one is now Shining Light into the Darkness, which is my missing people and unsolved cases. I'm separating them out so that this channel is strictly Ascension. Okay. This one was another activating pyramids. And then the gods of time also came in. There was a few of those. Here's another activating pyramids. And then the only one in Egypt that mattered was the Sphinx. Okay. And that is the portal of time. All right. That had a black hole in the bottom of it. You can watch it. Then after I did all that came the twin. Well, nope. Then after I did all that, I freed Jesus's soul. Okay. I saw how he died. I processed his death. It's not how they say it is. This yet was not the return of Christ yet. I thought it was, because I'm like, who sees how Jesus really died? And not only that, I literally processed his death. I felt his pain. He spent about 20 minutes dying from the inside out, and he did bleed out of every orifice. That's a really good story to hear. This one is the explanation of it. It's a little more clear because it came through in a healing that I did. And if you notice those numbers, 222, that's pretty interesting. Came through in a workshop that I did. Everything did. I had no idea it was coming. You can kind of tell when I do them. Then after I freed Jesus's soul, because it's a lot, you got to keep up. And it took me since 2019, came my twin flame journey. Okay, that's when I met my twin flame. We energetically all of a sudden combined, and then Christ's light started flooding through both of us. And then he took off with a fallen angel. And I spent, that's actually on here, who I am, who are the 144,000 in my twin soul. I spent info about the attack on my soulmate and me. Okay, this was a DM message. So he used to watch my channel. My new one does now too, I think. I really don't have proof of that, but that's what they say. And they always call him forward on here, but he has yet to come. We'll see. Then I eliminated the false goddess. Okay. And as I was fighting for my twin flame soul and my own, because I almost died when he took off, I had apparently 3 fallen angels fighting me. It took every bit of strength I had. It took me a year to win his soul back. And then in the end, he still refused to come. And this was the first Return of Christ video. The Return of Christ, the Return of the Gods, watch all. And that is when God married my DM and I. And that is what he said was part of the Return of Christ, was me and my DM. It takes a lot to understand who I am. I eliminated all the karma back to Adam and Eve. That was what was so painful about it for me. I woke up my DM, okay, which is actually biblical. You can look it up with the true information in the Bible. So be very careful, because not everything they tell you is true. Okay. We also cleared Catholicism. Like, we did a lot of things. It took me 3 years to do it. Sometimes there would people be coming up through my workshops that took part in some of these healings, and others, they would just get to heal in them as well. And I awakened them, and I had an academy too, where I awaken people. It's a lot of fun. Then let's see what happened after that. On August 30th of this last year, my DM died because he refused to leave the fallen angels, and God had given him Christ's light and said, no, 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 that's enough. And so he had to make a choice, and he chose not to come back, and he died because he had a black hole in his heart. So I got to walk in twin flame. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. He's still supposed to show up, because the balance has to be the both of us. We both have to do the work together for the balance. Now, here's one important really thing. This was the one my DM died in, the workshop. I uploaded that. Here was the real resurrection of Christ. Okay. This was like part 2. So everything comes in like part 1 and part 2 that I do. I don't know it's coming. By the way, it just comes, and it's a lot. So watch this. This was me actually united Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and I cleared the Holy Grail. It's a workshop. It happened live on my channel on Christmas this last year. Okay, excuse me. But during that time frame, I also cleared and healed the collective and individual shadow. Excuse me. That's this one. Watch whole video. Most important healing, collective shadow. This one was intense. They actually said fire started. Fires did start in California when I did that one. I ripped a soul out of this vessel. It was very intense. And this is why I say, in order to ascend, you have to heal your shadow. You have to know how, because people didn't even know how. It's never been done to where I healed it out of the collective soul. And so you have to eliminate it. And a lot of people don't know how to do that, including starseeds and light workers. So I cleared the shadow. That's a really good one to watch because in order to ascend, you need to know what that is. Then they told me where Atlantis was because I died there. It was Lake Titicaca, and it's also Machu Picchu. Okay, this was all happened to me and through me. The return of Christ was beautiful and powerful, and I had no idea it was the union of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. And I undid the Holy Grail. You should watch that to know what the Holy Grail really is. It's not a cup. Okay, the cup was a decoy, but I undid it. And let me tell you, I've pissed off some darkness. But that's why everything's happening that's happening. I had said 2 or 3 years ago, the banks were going to fall. We're going to start having all this stuff happen. But when my DM took off with a fallen angel, it put it on hold for 1 whole year. And then once he died, we were able to complete the Dome of Protection. I got a new DM who's supposed to show, and I hope he does. And then I was able to do the resurrection of Christ. And then I also took us into 7D. So instead of 5D, I took us into 7D, which is 2 parts. Okay, here was the second moon one. Ascension phase, anchoring the moon, solar eclipse elimination, phase 1 complete. Okay, this is how the work comes through me. There's a lot of channeled messages from gods and angels in here. My DM was attacked. I put all that in here just so everybody can see. Okay. Oh God. And I remember Phil Good, is that his name? He was like, oh, we're all in trouble now. And I'm like, oh Lord, help us all. He's so dramatic to me. And then let's see, what else do they want me to say here? Just gonna show you one more, and I don't know where it went to. Yes, this one right here was where I started activating 7D, and when they also told you more about who I am. It was a workshop done on 6 who I am processed for me over the last 3 years. Trust me, it was a lot for me to process who I am. Because it's not normal to activate pyramids and to move poles. I had to create 5 more poles to take us into 7D, which I took us through a black hole. And what's funny is scientifically, what I do is being proven as I'm doing it. It's really cool. Like when I took us through the black hole, I think it was like a few days later, they had photos of a black hole pooping out stars. And I was like, oh my God, that had to be it. It's so funny to watch all this stuff unfold. But this was the workshop done on 6/28/22 to activate hidden dormant chakra systems. Okay, that's when we started 7D. My original DM was still alive, and you can hear in there them say that he was killing me. And then that one finished with, let's see, sorry, my neighbors are outside probably being loud. That one finished with this one, taking us into 7D. Workshop done on 1/15/23. This is an actual healing for the ascension. This one's pretty badassery. And this one right here is why I say when they start telling you that we're going to have a nuclear war, they're lying through their ass. There is no way that they're going to allow that to happen at all. Okay. So I encourage you guys to watch these videos. These are actual workshops. You have to just be still. Don't go into judgment. Just sit still and watch them and put them in your pocket and allow it to process through. I will warn you, there's a lot and they're very long. And I say stuff that's important from the beginning all the way to the very end. So I would definitely watch them. Okay. I have upgraded so many modalities that you can't use old modalities anymore. Anything from the 3rd dimensional realm will not work anymore. And I keep telling people that, but they just don't seem to understand that yet. But eventually they have no choice but to, is what Spirit says. Okay. So that is who I am. That is why I talk about such weird things. And again, these are workshops. These are actual things where it was recorded and witnessed. Most of them are. Some are just messages from Spirit. And then Hertz Music also is on my channel. There's a lot there. And you can watch the missing persons people that I have on here too. It's pretty interesting stuff. It was because of Gannon Stauk that I started doing that. He died and didn't know he died, and I had to walk him to the other side. He ended up in my energy. So this one was my new DM was crowned and takes on the DMs in the 144,000. There's been some mishaps with that too. I don't know why it's so hard to get the DM to come forward, but it's been a lot. I've had to wake him up and heal him. And then I have really cool like mantras that came through. If you watch this channel and you actually are open in your heart to see it, it can definitely awaken you. It can heal you to some degree, even though it is just recording. Some of them, according to spirit, can heal some people. Okay. So I was trying to just do a quick video about this. I will post the link to my channel for you guys for you to take a look at. I truly encourage you to do so. For some reason, people are not wanting to watch me clear Mount Shasta. Apparently they either A, don't believe it, which I would watch it because it took me 30 days to process all those souls. Or they're just afraid or they're not awake enough. Okay. People go into judgment, and I will tell you that's not of light. All you have to do is just watch and observe. Look for the proof. I don't have to prove who I am. Just look for the proof. But spirit wants me to share who I am. That's what I do because I have the correct information. Okay. I can absolutely get you on your path to the ascension. And this channel alone will help awaken you. Okay. But you just have to be brave enough to watch it. 86 people actually did watch the return of Christ. I would love for people to watch me clear Mount Shasta and activate Fiji because I cut off life support to California. And I talk about that many times over. They have blackened that part of the earth and the waterways will move. And like I said, and when I took us into 7D, I had to activate 5 more poles. We have so many more chakra systems now you all have to activate in order to ascend. Okay, so your ascension isn't just theoretical. You have to heal. And people don't tell you that. They're just like, ooh, the energies, take them in. And unless you're healed, you can't take them all in. Okay. So when I tell you it's real and this is Judgment Day and who I am, your proof is in the pudding. Thank you for coming to my page. Thank you for listening to this video. And thank you to those who are willing and awake enough to hear the call and to watch the videos. Because those are the ones that spirit will absolutely work through. Okay. So much love to all of you. I will see you next time. Thank you again. And you're right where you're supposed to be. Never doubt that there are no coincidences. Until next time. Hasta la vista.